What were we going about?
Nazis built the pyramids, the aliens started the Holocaust. It's just...
We're talking about serial killers today. They're ghosts.
It's only going to get worse from here.
Where have you been for the past 5 years of my life?
I don't know. Toasted Pop-Tarts, huh?
Yeah, you had me on those frozen Pop-Tart kick for so long.
They're so good, though.
I toasted a Pop-Tart when we first got this big box of Pop-Tarts.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls thought I was insane. They're like, what are you doing? They're supposed to be frozen. They think you are literally supposed to freeze them. They were so confused when I put them in the pantry. They're like, Mom, why aren't you putting these in the freezer? They're going to melt. I'm like, they're not ice cream.
No, but they are a delicious frozen dessert when you want them.
Some of them, that strawberry milkshake one, only belongs in the freezer.
Yeah, no, because you can't put the s'mores one in the freezer. It just won't be the same. No, you got to heat that motherfucker up. You got to make that gooey.
I don't like the s'more one.
God.
That chocolate.
You're so un-American.
I am not a fan of Pop-Tarts chocolate. Like, it's such a weird puddingy, like, off-brand puddingy flavor.
Okay. Hey, everybody, welcome to The Calling Couple.
Oh, my God, were you recording?
Yeah, I was recording the whole time. So.
I was talking about Pop-Tarts!
Yeah, we were talking about Pop-Tarts.
They're fucking delicious.
But welcome, everybody, to The Calling Couple podcast. I am your host, Gage, along with...
the beautiful, wonderful, talented Sage. Hey, whoa, easy with that X-rated thought right there, buddy.
No.
So Pop-Tarts and Harry Potter.
Yeah, okay. So we are going to be talking about Harry Potter. We're going to be giving some ideas and rundowns and theories of our own of what they did or did not do that we were just like, what the fuck? So, is there, like, before we dive into it, which one was your favorite film or your favorite book? Because some of the films and books didn't line up all the way.
Probably The Two Towers.
I'm
sorry, I had to see the look on your face when I said that.
My God.
Dumbledore was in both of those, wasn't he?
You got all the Lord of the Rings fans and Harry Potter fans.
I know I do.
Which I don't care for the Lord of the Rings stuff, but it's just like, oh my God. We
piss everybody off.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, no, which one did you like though? Like what?
Oh man, if I had to pick one. Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban. That one was pretty good. Where they had time travel and shit.
Yeah, and it just didn't have there was the hopelessness wasn't there yet, you know?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, they drug it out so fucking long.
I know, hopelessness, I just couldn't do it, man. Those movies were, like, the ones after Prisoner of Azkaban, they're good, I love them. But I just can't handle the weight of hopelessness.
Yeah, okay, so...
I'm just like, you guys are wizards.
This is how they could have fucking just ended it. And I know a lot of people that are listening to this are like, oh, well, you know, why didn't they just sniper them and shoot Voldemort and get rid of him from a distance, all this now. We're going to get into this. Yeah. We are going to get into this
Speaking of that, have you seen all of the TikToks of the American exchange student? It's like, oh no, that wizard's coming to kill us. And the American exchange student's just like, oh man, I got you guys. Well, bam! And then fucking shoots him. And they're all just like looking at him like, what the fuck?
Voldemort? Who the fuck is Voldemort?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like, who's this motherfucker y'all be talking about? Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, okay, so Prisoner of Azkaban would be your favorite, right? Like that's yours?
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I would say my favorite would be the one where Bellatrix Lestrange killed Sirius Black.
Yeah, which one is that?
Which one is... I can't fucking remember.
Yeah,
there's so many...
Like, we're not fanatics.
No,
I just like the movie.
No, and I know that if one of our friends right now was listening to this, she'd be screaming.
Yeah,
if she's not already calling us of like, it's this one, you dumb fucks. All right, bye.
And she's probably also just like, why did they not call me over to do this with them? I could have told them facts.
Well, that's because she's always working.
Yeah, you're always working.
Yeah, but we're gonna try to ruin your favorite franchise during this. No, we're not gonna ruin it. We're not gonna ruin it. But we are gonna I'm gonna make some valid points. All right. Is there anywhere you would like to start before I get into it?
Oh, I was gonna say that I changed my mind. My favorite movie.
Okay, what is it?
Chamber of Secrets.
I do like Chamber of Secrets.
Is it because I like snakes? I like snakes.
I do like Chamber of Secrets. That one, okay, yeah. Because I was starting to think of that one back when I was about to say the one I was at. So Chamber of Secrets, yeah, because I did like that one a lot.
Yeah.
And I do remember getting to see that one in theaters and shit. I loved it. All right.
You must hated the spider scene, though.
I fucking did. My God, I hated that scene because I was just like in the theater in pitch blackness. And how old was I? I was probably like 13 or so. And I'm just sitting here seeing this. I'm like, fuck. Why?
And then, like, as it progresses, they get bigger and bigger. And it's like, Yeah, you're like Ron over there. Like, you're like, Ron is the only one that makes sense in any of these fucking movies.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember reading the book because back then I was reading books. Now, after I reached the age of 15, I stopped reading books because I found pussy and that's where I was at. So once I discovered the magical realm of vaginas, I was like,
my God.
I was like, books are done with me. I'm done with them. I did like Chamber of Secrets. That was probably one of my favorites out of all of them. And that's also where fucking Draco Malfoy tried to kill Harry Potter for the first time. That was interesting.
You did?
Yeah, where he fucking freed Dobby, and he fucking got pissed and pulled out his wand and was about to do it. Dobby.
No, who tried to kill Harry Potter for the first time? You
said
Draco.
My bad.
I was like, Draco didn't try to kill him in that movie.
My bad. Lucius.
Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah, Lucius Malfoy. My bad. It was a fucking Malfoy. Calm down. Which, I mean...
Daddy Malfoy.
Everybody with the fucking daddy shit nowadays.
He literally was Daddy Malfoy. He was Draco's dad.
Stop
Daddy
trying
Malfoy.
to bring all your sexual preferences into
Never.
I mean, Mrs. McGonagall, though, I would tear that box
Mommy
up.
McGonagall?
No, I mean Granny McGonagall.
She turned into a cast. I thought you make pussy references.
No, you just wouldn't be able to knock her up because she's already went through menopause. So.
All right, I'm done with that. I'm done with that scene you just put in my head.
You're all just sitting here just like, I'm about to Avada Kedavra myself. So. I did. Avada Kedavra. Since it is our favorite, we're going to start off with that film. We are going to start off with that and go from there. So here's where I have an issue with that, is that I think the biggest problem with Harry Potter is the fact that they tried to mix a lot of Muggle and wizard stuff together with saying, oh, we're just a wizard community. Like we hide from the Muggles and all that kind of stuff. But you're telling me that you can take a car, make it magical, and it's all good? Like you had a flying car.
Did you see that car? It was not good, man. It was like always about to crash.
Well, it became sentient.
Like, boom, boom.
It became sentient, so that was kind of...
Yeah, can you imagine all your spells becoming sentient?
With that being said, that they used a Muggle device. Something else, I do like Ron. I love Ron Weasley. I think he's great. I'm gonna just jump right into it.
Jump.
How the Weasleys were so fucking poor and shit.
Right.
Okay. Honestly, right here, right now, I got it to where he could have made millions of coins. Millions.
Oh.
He could have wrote a book on how to speak parcel tongue.
Who?
Ron motherfucking Weasley.
Okay.
And here's why. When he went to the Chamber of Secrets in the last film, he went up to the sink and he spoke parcel tongue to the snake to open the chamber, right? And he looked at Hermione and said, Harry speaks in his sleep. Meaning, he understood what Harry had said enough to be able to say, open up. Because it's not like you can just hiss at the damn thing and it's going to fucking open, right? You got to actually say something.
You actually speak.
Now, I've said this to people and they're just like, well, how would he do that? Well, for one, he would have a snake sitting in front of Harry, have Harry just talk to the goddamn snake, have conversations with them, and start recording it. Well, what? You mean he's going to have to sit there and write down hisses on the fucking paper? No. Go into the fucking Muggle world, grab you a goddamn tape recorder or a cell phone, because cell phones were then, sit down and record every bit of it and be like, okay, Harry, what'd you say here? well, I said this, and that. That's what we're saying right now. Oh, cool. I'll just write that down. To where now you could sell an audio and hardback copy in one set for a total of $99.99. The How-To Dumb Guide to Speak Parseltongue. You just made some money. You just made your family rich on how to speak a language that only a few people apparently knew how to speak.
Anybody can speak Parseltongue.
Yep. You just brought Hooked on Phoenix.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. No, now you can do that. And that's where some people are just like, no, you can't fucking do that because it's muggles. And I'm like, so you can bring in a car and trains that are muggle invented, but you can't bring in a tape recorder? Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they have their own tape recorders.
Yeah, and then they probably did. But it's like, how? How could you not think of that? Like, you have the smartest person in your school as your best fucking friend.
I'm surprised no one had done that yet.
Yeah, it's just so weird that no one thought of that. Like, you guys can't be one of the smartest people to figure out how to do witchcraft and all that kind of stuff to...
Yeah, I was like, seriously, all you need is one person who speaks Parseltongue and somebody who understands that it's just hisses to them. Because people who speak Parseltongue aren't... Do they know they're speaking Parseltongue? Because Harry made it sound like it was just pure English to him. Like the snake was speaking English to him and he was speaking English back to the snake.
Well, no, because you even got to see more of that whenever... Oh, God, who was it that conjured the snake during the battle, the training battle? And he starts speaking Parseltongue in Chamber of Secrets, where he starts speaking Parseltongue to it, and everybody's hearing him just hissing. But what he's telling him is like,
when
no.
He talks, he's like, no, I was telling him not to hurt him or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then he's all like, no, you were speaking Parseltongue.
But like the way the style of hissing, the dialect and everything that he was doing of the hiss.
Yeah, you could. No,
you can learn to do that, so you know what you. It's just like speaking Spanish or something. You know how to.
He goes har si heth. Like those are the syllables to say what he said. Mm-hmm.
And if you have him hear it again, he can be like, "No, this is what I said. This is literally a translation of what that is." Mm-hmm. See what I mean? See what I mean? The Weasleys didn't have to be fucking dragon trainers or working at the Ministry of Magic, because they could have just been rich off of writing a book.
You know, I have never understood that. The Weasleys had such profound jobs. I don't understand how they were as poor as they were.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like a dragon trainer, he should be rolling in it.
A dragon trainer, the twins.
And then the twins owning their own business, and then the friggin' dad being in
the Ministry of Magic.
Ministry of Magic. Like, how did their lifestyle must have been a choice?
The rubber duck.
What
does it do?
Yeah.
It's like...
It had to have been a choice.
It had to have been, because unless they were like millionaires that were just... They lived so poorly that they were just like...
I figured it out. They weren't poor. They were traditionalists.
Ooh, okay.
Because first of all, that house is huge. And then you go to the inside of it, and it's like mansion size. Yeah. That thing just goes on magically forever. But then when they go to festivals and stuff, they have a royal tent. Their tent is humongous. And the twins, how'd they afford that business? Money. Family money. They had family money. Ron got made fun of for his hand-me-down robes, but they were traditional robes.
Yeah, everything that he said, it was like, oh, this is family tradition.
Like nothing he had, think about it, nothing he had was gross. It was just traditional.
Yeah, because even McGonagall said that. She goes, oh, you went with the traditional. Nice.
Yeah, like everything was traditional.
Like she gave him shit of like, got all these other students wearing this new shit, and you went with that. Okay. Yeah, because I haven't seen that since I was a little girl.
I mean, like literally, look what his dad does for a living.
Yeah.
You know, he like right now he's the study of like Muggles. But like his grandpa was probably keeping like wizarding traditions. You know, not like anti-Muggle or anything, just keeping traditions going.
I'm gonna say this, with him being the guy that was the study of Muggles and shit. He is racist.
Why?
He is so racist because...
There's a difference between racist and ignorant, so watch it.
Okay. He is racist because he wasn't ignorant. He was just so, like, I don't go to the Muggle people to find out things because I don't want to. But I'm going to ask...
Is that why?
Well, I mean, look at it this way. Everything that they were trying to do was get rid of the mudbloods and eventually dominate the regular people, the Muggles.
Well, that's not what the Weasleys were trying to do.
No, but if your job is to study Muggles and the fascinations of them and all that kind of stuff, just go to the Muggle world and fucking just walk around. Just walk around. You would be able to learn a lot by just walking around instead of literally interrogating an 11-year-old boy about a rubber duck. You could act like the crazy person that you would probably be to people because you're a wizard.
Yeah.
And just be like, what is the fascination of this? What does that do? And all this and that. But you're able to get a car. So that means you have gone to the Muggle world. Yeah. Why are you not doing your job better?
Yeah.
It was because science. Science.
His whole job would be done. Like, his whole job. If they would just go to a Muggle library. Muggle library. Done. There's your research. It's all right there.
Or the internet.
Is it there yet, though?
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, the way that they were basing these films, it was from, like, 2000 to now. Like, even their clothes and stuff were looking modern time and shit.
Well, it's another universe, so maybe their technology was back a little bit.
No. Because even if you've seen how the Dursleys were, they had some high-dollar technology in their house. Like, if you look in the background, you would see laptops, you would see flat-screen TVs and shit like that. So it's not like they didn't have the technology that the wizards could go and check out and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I see. So, yeah.
Yeah. So he was just shit at his job, is all it was.
I have a feeling that maybe that job was given to him because he didn't want to get rid of all of mudbloods and all that. He didn't want to get rid of Muggles. So they're like, well, if you love Muggles so much, then your new job is to study them.
Well, okay, I'm not going to say that he was racist. I'm going to say that the wizarding world was racist.
Incredibly. There was a whole war against it.
Right. And I was going to say, like, that's probably why he was told not to go out to the Muggle world, is because his job was to study Muggles, because it was the most shit job, because no wizards cared what Muggles were doing. They were inferior to them. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, well, we don't want to make you the janitor because you're too intelligent for that, but we're going to give you the worst job of it all, and you can't ever go over there to learn more. So you're going to be stuck at this dead-end job because of racism.
And look what it took to get to his office. He was in the fucking basement.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
What is it?
We're still chasing the golden snitch.
What is Professor McGonagall? What's her... She can shapeshift into a cat at will. What's that called again?
I don't know. She can transform into a cat, and it takes a little process, like Sirius Black.
There's a name for it.
And I know they're probably screaming at it. It's these, you dumbass.
We literally just watched something about how they pronounce it wrong in the movie. Whatever.
Yeah, optometrist. Taxidermist. No.
It's something about magi. Something magi.
Yeah, something of that nature. But go ahead.
The broomstick teacher in the first movie.
Yeah. The only time you ever see her.
Is she one?
Why would you say that?
Because she has cat eyes.
And
I've always wondered, is she whatever Professor McGonagall is, which they can do it at will through a spell work, or is she a shapeshifter?
I don't know.
She's got to be something, because the wizards aren't out there just, having cat eyes. So she's got to be something.
Or she could be in the process of the spell work to transform.
Oh, like she's going through the process of becoming one?
Yeah, and it's just altering her a little bit. Going on that same ordeal,
okay.
We could actually been over with this film from the first moment.
What?
We could have been over with the film series.
Been over, okay.
Could have actually been over with all of this by the moment Voldemort came back in the Goblet of Fire. As soon as he came back, you know what could have happened? We could have had Harry run off and transform into an animal.
But he hasn't gone through the process.
Well, okay. He hasn't gone through a process.
And remember, they have to do the spell work. It takes months to do, to learn how to do that.
Or he could have had... even still, we could have had somebody who could have transformed into an owl, a cat, or any of that, and fucking infiltrated where he was at by following a Death Eater to their location and fucking just pop out of nowhere and just be like, Avada Kedavra! And fucking...
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that they were on their own that whole time like that, especially with the threat hanging over them like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not of Voldemort, because no one believed that he was back. But there were Death Eaters on the prowl. There were dangerous things. There should have been teachers in some kind of floaty form, above the labyrinth, watching, making sure their students were safe.
Yeah, that's something that the lack of security for your child's safety at these schools.
Insane lack of security, especially for them all being magical.
Yeah, because could you imagine if you were a mudblood and your parents are muggles and you, like, say Hermione went to school and then all of a sudden she gets killed?
Like, oh, shit happens,
How are you going to explain that to your muggle government? Yeah, she died. But how did she die? Where's her body? Why it isn't...
I'm sure they have contingency plans.
Yeah, they would...
They erase her identity from the muggle world.
That...
If Hermione can erase her identity from her parents, including the pictures and all that kind of stuff, like, Hermione did erase her identity from the muggle world.
Yeah, could you imagine being the parents walking by and be like, why did we just have this picture of our backyard sitting out here?
Yeah.
And this beautiful picture frame. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, why did we take... What kind of acid were we on that day?
Yeah, and just, like, random high chairs, pictures of high chairs.
And then the mom's just looking down on her stomach like, why do I have a scar that looks like a C-section? Where did this come from?
Yeah, I wonder if the spell gets rid of the C-section scar.
Ooh, that would be interesting. There's just too many complex stuff.
You can't just erase yourself like that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was an emotional scene. I did like it. It was very just like, oh. And then you get the beautiful scene of Harry's aunt talking to her of like, I did love my sister and shit like that. It was great.
Fuck that bitch.
Yes, fuck that bitch, because she did treat her
I don't give a shit
her nephew horrible.
I don't give a shit what she has to say.
But it was very nice. It was nice touching of like, I never hated you. I just hated your people.
Because they took my sister.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, like I said, it was still a beautiful scene, beautiful setup. But yeah, there was just so many different complexities that they could have tried to dive in a little bit more and fix, even if they were making it into a movie of like, hey, look, we're going to go off the books, but we're going to try to correct some of these mistakes so we can make it feel more real than just, well, it's all fantasy. And it is. But, I mean, you're trying to put it into a real world aspect. Fucking give it to us.
Yeah.
Give it to us.
Yeah.
I mean, interview of Vampire filled in so many realistic stuffs to make it feel like these creatures are walking around among us right fucking now. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Not like Twilight. Twilight was just absolutely masterful. I mean,
I'm so proud of you.
Hey,
for finally admitting that to yourself.
I gotta say, I loved watching a disco ball just walk around in the sunlight.
I think I was trying to make a joke about the spoof movie, but I forgot the name of it.
Which one? They actually made several different kinds of spoof movies of the Twilight. Yeah, of Twilight. Now,
Breaking Wind.
Yeah, Breaking Wind and all that. Yeah, that was a good one. Now, I will say this. Robert Pattinson, coming from Harry Potter, then going to the god-awful Twilight saga, to now being Batman. Yeah, what a glow up. What a glow up.
Yes.
Yeah. So, back to Harry Potter, because we were still there.
Hey, we're on Robert Pattinson, and he was in Harry Potter, so
yeah.
we're still there.
Yeah, we're still in the same asshole.
What the fuck?
All right, the erasing of her memory and shit just really didn't make no sense.
No, it didn't, because, like, what about, like, childhood friends, neighbors, other family members?
Here's something that I'm just like, okay, so they put... Hermione got, when they did the transconfiguration potion, or the polyjuice potion.
Yeah.
The polyjuice potion, when they did that,
yes.
And how Hermione got turned into a cat because there was cat hair in there.
Yeah, but it was just like...
A minute, like one little hair, and it fucking changed her that much. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if they put a little bit more in there, if she could actually completely transform into a cat for a certain amount of time, right?
I bet the spell work that goes into being able to transform at will does have polyjuice in it.
Probably, but that's at will. Like, if you only want to do it for a small amount of time, right? Like, it took her several more hours to transform back completely.
Yeah, because you're stuck that way in the polyjuice. But actually learning the actual spell for it
and
to being able to do it at will, you can change back at will. Like, you can turn back into yourself at will. Polyjuice, you're stuck that way until it wears off.
Right. Okay, so here's where I'm going with it. So, if she'd had a few more hairs and all that and made the potion probably a little bit stronger, she probably could have transformed completely into that girl's cat. Now,
human sized, right?
No, straight up into the small version of the cat.
Oh. Oh.
Because it's supposed to make you completely identical to what you're copying.
Okay.
So here's my theory on this. If they were able to get it close to Nagini, whatever.
You get
Nigeria.
the name, right?
Nigeria. I don't give a shit.
Nagini's my favorite.
All right. If they were able to get close enough to Nagini and was able to get a hold of her scale, a scale, like a one that just fell off, or if she fucking shedded her skin.
Oh yeah, a whole freaking Nagini shed.
And they put into a polyjuice potion, and they fucking copied her, was able to entrap her, because they didn't have to know that she was a Horcrux. They could have just straight up did it to get close to Voldemort. The only thing that would go wrong with that is if Voldemort tried to talk to her.
I think honestly,
but it
would work because it would work. A polyjuice potion for Nagini would work because she has human DNA in her.
Mm-hmm.
Not human.
But he would know her voice.
Yeah, you couldn't talk.
That's the thing, though.
And you wouldn't be able to speak parcel tongue.
Right, but you would have to be quiet and hope that he doesn't talk to you.
Yeah.
For you to wait for you to catch that surprise of when you transform back, you could just be like, pull the wand out of your ass because you had to hide it up your ass. You got to
hide it somewhere.
Yeah, you had to get it somewhere.
Such a neat little snaky asshole.
Yeah, and you just got to pull it out of your ass and just be like Avada Kedavra, and then be like, okay, Death Eaters, you have no leader now. Disband. And look at everybody and be like, I am the one who killed the boy who lived. Attack her.
Speaking of Nagini,
mm-hmm.
in the scene in one of the later Harry Potter movies when he goes to his hometown and finds his parents' graves and all that kind of stuff, and they go to that house and they find that old lady who won't talk, and it ends up being Nagini.
Oh yeah.
Is that Nagini, or did Nagini drink a polyjuice potion? That's what I like, because you know how like she transforms and she kind of melts into herself and turns back into her snake self.
Yeah.
Is that Nagini old lady? Is that old woman Nagini? Or did Nagini drink the polyjuice potion of the woman that lived in that house?
That's a good point.
Was that old lady Nagini?
Because if that's the case, then Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them
was wrong.
Yep.
Because that was supposed to be the last time she was ever able to be her human form again.
Mm-hmm.
So was that old lady?
The reason why, don't get me wrong, I liked the Fantastic Beasts series. Mm-hmm. Well, to an extent. There was a lot of fucking like complete inconsistencies with those films they had. But the concepts were good. The problem I have with those is that too many people were help writing those to where it couldn't stay consistent, to where you had one person who was writing it and then another person who edited it. But it was all staying consistent with the same kind of storyline. Yes, they had their little plot holes here and there, but they were all in all consistent. And but I think that's the problem, is that if you're going to write fan fiction, do not try to bring any relatable or known characters into your fan fiction. Leave it be. Do something completely different. There's only certain ones that you can do that way that would work out. Like if you were to write a fan fiction about Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger or Jason, you have to have those. But you can have a whole new cast selection, whole new settings and stuff like that you can work into it. But if you're going to fucking write a prequel series and you're going to have Dumbledore, you're going to have all these characters that we already know about, we already have great stories with, don't try to fucking put your own twist on it, because it's not going to work. You're going to fuck up. You're going to be like, shit, my bad. They did it with the Star Wars sequels, where they tried to bring into our people that we already knew and try to give us something new, instead of just giving us something completely new, something that we've never seen before, but something that had a good deal. If they had left Dumbledore out of that, McGonagall and all the people that we already knew, if they left those characters out of the Fantastic Beasts series and just left it as Newt going after them, would have been great.
For real though, because McGonagall's appearance in those movies didn't make any sense to her appearance in the Harry Potter movies.
No, it didn't. It really didn't, because in the first film, you see her Quidditch badge was 1971. Well, these films are supposed to be taking place in in the
40s, I believe.
Okay, in the 1940s. She's already a professor. So
yeah,
why would
a professor.
Why would a
professor? She hasn't even gone to school there yet.
Yeah, why would a professor be on the Quidditch team? That's cheating. You see, like that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of inconsistencies that I'm just like, fans, I know that you're upset that you don't get them no more, but let it go, let it die. Or if you got fan fictions, keep them in your own mind. We don't need to fucking know.
Oh yeah, there's websites for that. Go write your fan fiction.
Exactly.
Just don't quit turning it into movies that make no sense.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Like I said, if you're gonna do it like how other series are done, where they're completely on their own in the same universe, same realm, but just a whole new set of people. No relatables, nothing like that. You can maybe work in a nod or a mention of another character from someone that you know, but you don't have to bring them in, because then you're just going to fuck it up. You're going to fuck it up. Because to do something like that, you have to know the source material religiously to make it work for you. To where you don't fuck anything up. And some people are like, well, that was an alternate universe. Fuck you and all these goddamn alternate universes, okay?
Yeah, only Marvel and DC get to do that.
Only the comic books can do that shit.
Everybody else, fuck up.
Yeah, for real. Like, fucking stop. And even then, when they do that, they do their own actual adaptation of it, to where you know that it's a different universe. And
they state that it's an alternate universe.
Yes. So, oh, man. What else was there? Ooh,
there's so much.
There's so much. There is so much.
But a lot of the stuff people have already said. We're just trying to say the stuff that we've thought.
Yeah, like, I mean, I haven't heard anybody talk about the whole fucking Weasley's making some big bank on Parseltongue.
Yeah, the only thing they talk about is like,
or even Harry.
Yeah, no, like Harry was so rich. Why didn't he ever give money to the Weasleys? Like, he had a freaking giant bank account full of fucking money.
Because you know his mother is proud. You know the Weasley mother was too proud to fucking accept that. Of like, no. Your family made that money for you. You keep it. We're good.
And also, well, I can believe that. And also, when they would go to the pubs and stuff and get butterbeer or whatever kind of stuff, Harry always paid.
Yeah.
Like, he did use his money on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Harry paid for everything with Ron and Hermione. Those were his besties. Of course he did.
Yeah. Until the money went out and they were just like, oh, well, we don't really have use for you anymore. Ron, let's go behind the dumpster and I'll suck your dick now.
Oh, my God. Calm down.
Well,
the money didn't run out. Remember, because...
yeah, he had a whole vote for it, and they invested it.
Yeah, like they invested it. Because I think it was either Dumbledore or McGonagall. One of them was, like, teaching him how to invest or some shit.
Yeah.
Or did it for him or something.
Yeah, they probably did it just so whenever he got older, he could be okay. And it actually turned out to be very well, because it was their own company, so they're making money off that too. And,
hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, like the chocolate frogs. You know that was all Dumbledore. Like that was his company.
No. His was the jelly beans.
Oh, that's right, the jelly beans. Yeah.
You always got earwax.
Yeah. Why would you make a vomit tasting jelly bean? You sick, sadistic fuck.
It's funny. It's funny.
All right, so something else that I was sitting here thinking about.
You already are a sadistic fuck if you eat jelly beans. I fucking hate jelly beans.
Oh, no. Some jelly beans are fucking phenomenal.
No, they're chewy grossness. Nobody likes jelly beans. And if you do, you're a liar.
I love jelly beans.
When I have never seen you eat a jelly bean.
Because I don't eat them in front of you. Because I tried that once.
Because I'm like, you disgusting pig. It's your fucking jelly beans.
No, because as soon as I put one in my mouth, you were just like, huh.
Jelly beans are gross, bro.
And that's why I was like, no, I'm not going to eat those in front of you no more, because I don't want to fucking throw up thinking about having...
They're vomit flavored.
I would hate to get the surprise semen mystery flavored one every now and then.
Stop. I already ate jelly beans, bro.
You know that's what the mystery flavor one is.
Oh, no.
Dumbledore's just sitting over the vat just like... oh.
Hey.
Just mystery flavored.
Enough,
mystery flavored.
That's enough. My brain hurts now.
So, Draco Malfoy. I know a lot of people were just like, oh man, I fucking hated his whiny ass and shit. I fucking loved
Everybody
it.
Loves him.
I loved Draco Malfoy and the Borrowers. He was just so...
He's our broken little baby.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Draco.
Yeah, but I really loved the end film where you can just tell that he truly was just like, I don't even care to fucking kill Harry Potter anymore. I don't give a shit. Like,
who's the woman that he ended up marrying at the end of that?
I don't know. Oh, it was another Slytherin girl.
Was it? I think he defied all the odds. I think he might have married a Muggle.
Ooh, that would be
Wouldn't
a good one.
Wouldn't that be a good one?
That'd be a good one.
Freaking Malfoy marrying a muggle, ruining the bloodline. How awesome would that be?
He's like, you know what they say, once you go muggle, you can always smuggle. Up that ass.
I'm just like, actually, genuinely, they probably do say that because they do be smuggling muggle stuff into the wizarding world. So I'm just like, I don't know, you might be right on that one.
She's like, oh, you guys got tea and biscuits? How about some coffee and cake, bitch?
The reason I say it is because the way Hermione looks at them. As if, like...
Appalled?
You like, wow, look at you. Like, you really have changed. You know, you married a fucking muggle. Because remember all the shit he used to give her for being mudblood?
Yeah, whenever he sat there and he called her a filthy mudblood, I was just like, go ahead and just stamp a swastika on his arm.
Pretty much.
Like,
Pretty
Jesus.
much.
And then, Draco's dad, Lucius, should have just walked in with a Hitler mustache and just been like...
It would have been on point.
Although his fucking cane wand was badass. I fucking loved that.
Oh, yeah, that was so cool.
Although that would be one of those, like, if you sat your cane down and you needed your wand, you're fucked.
For real.
But here's something else. How is it that some wizards were able to not use wands and some were, and everybody else had to?
I think all wizards can not use wands.
Mm-hmm.
They're just limited. I think wands just give you more ability. Like channeling your ability, because Harry didn't even know he was a wizard and he could still do shit.
True.
And he made the glass disappear.
Then Voldemort's a lying piece of shit, saying he's the most powerful wizard of all if he had to fucking use the Elder Wand to do all his shit.
It made him the most powerful wizard.
Oh, come on. If you're the most powerful, you don't need something to channel it. You already fucking can channel it, and you just do it.
True, genuine, most powerful wizard in the world wouldn't need a wand at all.
Here's where I was going with that. Why is it that some people have to say the spell and some don't?
I think it has to do with skill.
I think it doesn't really fucking matter.
I don't think it does either. I think at the beginning, you have to. It's like with cooking. You need the recipe. You need the step-by-step recipe of how much needs here, how much needs there, how much that needs that. But after you've done it so many times, eventually you don't need the cookbook and you don't need the exact measurements because you already know exactly what you're doing. I think it's the same thing. I think you have to say the spell over and over so that your body knows what it's doing. And then eventually you don't need to say it out loud because you know exactly what it feels like. You know exactly. I wish they could see my hands right now. You know what it feels like and you know what you're doing. So you don't need the words.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I think J.K. Rowling was just trying to make everybody be like, you're dumbasses. You're stupid.
Well, she is. She's an incredibly racist, homophobic bitch.
Yeah. Because it's like one of those, like, well, you're too stupid to remember what the spell is. And it's one of those, like, okay.
No, she had a huge ego. She did think everyone was stupid.
Here's what I mean. It's like, if Voldemort really wanted to do shit, could you imagine how many wizard snipers would be out there? Honestly, sitting up in a bell tower, seeing their target, and not even saying Avada Kedavra. They just flick the wrist of the wand, and it would just fucking get them.
Okay, wizard
and they wouldn't...
snipers. I was actually imagining guns. I'm just like, when did we start recruiting Americans? No, but you mean this, like, eventually they would know the spell so well they wouldn't even have to say Avada Kedavra, which he did do when he was going against Dumbledore. They just went.
Yeah, they started flicking their wrists and shit, which yet again goes against every bit of standard.
They were using the Avada Kedavra spell, but they weren't saying a damn thing. So yes, they did do the unspeakable spell that they literally didn't have to speak to do it.
That was the only time you ever see Voldemort use it without ever saying it. All the other times, he's always like, oh.
Yeah, I think it makes it stronger.
Really? It's the death spell. There's no need to go strong.
Yes, there is, because you can deflect it.
Okay.
So if you do a really strong version, you can't deflect it.
Okay, for one, you're saying you're fucking... You're saying your goddamn spell.
Get your finger out of my face!
When did you start calling my dick a finger?
Oh my... Well, we're looking like one.
Oh.
You set yourself up for that one.
Well, all right. So here's my thing: is that when you say the fucking spell, that gives that person enough time to be like, "Oh, block,
yes,
block,
you are
block,
so right," and they know exactly how to block it because they know what you're saying.
Well, they don't even have to. You don't like when you say the spell. All they're hearing is a sound that's about to come, that's coming out of your mouth. Oh, well, block.
No,
block.
I don't think block is a spell. I don't think block. I think you can only do a counter, and it has to be against that spell or it won't work. Because, I don't know, I can't remember who did it and all that, but they went to go flick their wrist one way to look like they were doing a certain spell, and you could see the other person raising to counteract that spell, and then they flicked their wrist the other way, and then they did a totally different spell, and they didn't have a counter for that one. They didn't have a counter ready for that one, so it did get them, and it disarmed them.
Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from. That.
See what I mean?
But you would be more deadlier if you didn't say a goddamn thing. You just look at them and...
Yeah, and I think very well-trained, well-practiced wizards and witches can do that. I mean, look at freaking Ron's mom. I don't think I heard her say a single spell when she was bouncing around that fucking castle, just whistling Vada Kedavra and everybody without a single word out of her mouth. She was like...
I don't know, man. There was just so many inconsistencies with it. Like, if you got some people that are powerful, you don't need to have them fucking say the spell. If you just show the green, we know it's the Avada Kedavra.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. You're saying if they don't need to say the spell, and they don't, but then later on you see them say a spell. Why are they saying a spell at all? Like earlier they weren't, but now all of a sudden they have to say a spell. They literally did the same spell earlier and didn't say a damn thing. And now they have to say it. I don't get that either. I really don't. And the only way I can describe that, to give it a reason, is to say that saying it out loud makes it a little stronger.
Well, and some people might be like, well, where's the honor in that? They're Death Eaters. Yeah. They don't fucking have honor.
And that's exactly why I don't think a lot of Death Eaters have to say their spells, because they're being sneaky little bastards. And saying your spell out loud is giving your opponent a chance.
And here's my thing. Okay, so we had basically like the concept of Captain America versus Adolf Hitler, right? Voldemort versus Harry Potter.
I'm listening.
Okay, so you're telling me that Adolf wouldn't have been all right with the fact that, hey, you know what? Just go ahead and kill Captain America if you ever get the chance. I'd be happy with that. At least that would get rid of the person that's being a nuisance to me, and I can continue on with my plan.
Harry Potter means more to Voldemort than Captain America.
Well, we didn't get that until like the 4th book. So you're telling me that you had all these other Death Eaters, that you had Lucius Malfoy almost commit the Avada Kedavra on Harry Potter for letting his fucking slave be freed. He would have been...
I think you're right. I think they just didn't know yet.
Well, no. It didn't happen until it became convenient. Until it had to be... He had to be the chosen one. I fucked up so bad on who the chosen one is, so... Well, we're going to have to make him part of Voldemort and shit. And it's like, come on, man. You could have just left it to where he just got lucky. Became the unsung hero that he already had this myth around him and shit, but he was nobody. He just happened to get lucky and kill Voldemort.
Yeah, as soon as he went to Hogwarts, there should have been like freaking suicide wizards sitting and waiting for their lord.
Any one of them Slytherins could have fucking took him out.
Oh my god. Stop. Just because they're Slytherins does not mean they're bad.
What I'm saying is that
you're just like,
Draco had his own little militia in his house. At any point, they could have poisoned his drink. They could have killed him.
You think the Malfoys should have told Draco to kill him sooner?
Yeah. And no, they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have gone after Dumbledore. They should have not gone after Dumbledore. They should have just went straight after Harry. And guess what? You don't have to.
Well, they weren't trying to just go after Harry. They were trying to take over the wizarding world.
Yeah, they could have.
Dumbledore was a huge piece of that.
They could have. You know why?
Harry wasn't the only bad guy.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, but you were just...
Hold up. Because here's the thing. Dumbledore would have been so grieved after the fact that Harry is dead. What I'm saying is Draco should have snuck into Harry's room, put a sleeping spell on everybody else.
Hot.
Walk over to Harry's bed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Whipped out his 14-foot cock and strangled him to death with it.
Oh, yeah. I'd watch that.
But no, he could. There's other ways to kill people besides using your fucking wand, okay? You could have...
Yeah. No. Yes.
Like, you could have killed him at any fucking point. Yeah. With that being said, Harry Potter is based off of a lot of old school witchcraft, right?
Yeah. That's why they use potions and whatnot.
Yeah, but they were also doing that back in the day too. They were also scribing people's names onto scrolls and shit like that to hex, curse, and do shit like that. They didn't have
a lot of spell work is
yeah,
mental.
yeah, and they didn't have always have access to their DNA or any of that. They just did it. With that being said, J.K. Rowling,
chaotic ancient magic.
J.K. Rowling,
in the Wizarding World.
Stop trying to be witchy. So, something I did hate about the films is you would learn a spell, a potion, anything like that, and that it would only be just for that movie, and conveniently only just for that movie. Like you would never see it again, you would never hear about it again. It would just be, that's it. Well, like the Wingardium of Leviosa.
Of Leviosa, okay. You pronounce it however you need to.
I'm American.
I'm American, and I'll pronounce it American.
I say.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Like how in the first film they were just like, we'll teach you the spell of levitation. And it worked out well to where they fought the ogre and all this and that. Great. You know what they could have done? Voldemort. Wingardium of Leviosa. And lifted his ass up, catching him off guard just for the split seconds for him to be like, oh God, I'm off balance. To, and then he's dead. It's over. We win.
Is it over yet?
It was what over? What was the point of the screeching root?
For potions and stuff.
So you kill this living, screaming thing.
You cut pieces of it off. Yeah, I know that sounds bad, but it's the thing right there, you know. And don't say shit, man. You eat meat, don't you?
Yeah, but that's delicious.
Yeah, well.
It doesn't scream at me like that.
That thing looks like ginger root, and I love ginger root. So I'm going to cut one of its feet off.
I love gingers too.
You're hilarious.
All right.
I'm done. Let's go.
Avada Kedavra, man.
Stop.
Okay, there's going to be some more stuff because I am forgetting some of the other shit that I wanted to bring up because I had some good fucking theories about Draco that I really wanted to...
Oh, no. What?
Oh, my God.
Remember?
No.
Oh, come on. Tell me.
I need
love
to
Draco.
I know. I need to rewatch the film so I can...
Well, that's definitely what we're doing after this because you got me all harried up. I'm sorry I had to say that.
Well, I'm going to bust out some of the Gillettes and we'll get you shaved down.
Oh, my gosh. Gross. I know I set myself up for it, but damn.
Oh, that's it. That's what I remembered now. I remember okay. What it is.
Tell me.
Draco is gay.
Maybe bisexual.
No, he gay. He was straight up in the closet, so embarrassed of his family finding out about it that he was just like, I hate myself, so I'm gonna take it out on other people. Yeah, the standard bully.
He took it out on the guy he had a crush on.
He had a huge crush on Harry Potter. Why? Because Harry Potter's name was always mentioned in his family's household of one day we'll get that kid for killing our master and all this and that. Of course, he starts growing a little crush on him, and then when he finally gets to meet him, you could tell that he was kind of like, oh,
he's everything I thought he would be.
I can't let him see that. My family would banish me, and they would take away everything I have if they found out that I was gay.
I want to know how different the movies would have been if Harry had gone and hung out with him that day instead of taking Ron's side.
Yeah.
Like, instead of defending Ron, if he'd actually went and hung out with Draco instead, how different would the movies been?
Also, think about this. When do you actually see Draco hang out with a female in the entire series?
Just when you see him with his wife.
Right. Who is he with? Crabbe and Goyle. And you know they were all taking turns sucking each other off. Oh my God.
You're mine, man.
Why not? All right, so we're gonna fucking wrap this one up, guys. I mean, we got so much to do. Well, actually, we ain't got shit to do. We're gonna go watch Harry Potter when we're done with this. We're gonna be watching Harry Potter, Moaning Myrtle.
Oh God.
Jesus.
I'll make you moan, Myrtle.
Have you seen what she looks like nowadays? I would definitely make her moan.
Oh, would you?
Oh my gosh, she got hot.
Well, you're not a very picky man, so.
Shut the fuck up. We're going to end this one because we're going to go binge some Harry Potter so we can come up with some more theories and more flaws because I like pointing out flaws on shit. We will come back to this at a later date. Hopefully you guys have had some fun. We have made some decent points of what they could have done in the series to make themselves wealthy, rich, and they could have fixed if they took a little bit more goddamn time with it. Other than that.
So if you like what we had to say, comment down below. But if you didn't, comment down below.
And if you like this video or if you did not like this video, leave us a like, give us a subscribe so you can leave those good or hateful comments later on. And hey, even leave us the thumbs down if you really just want to have fun. Like, let us know. Because we don't give a shit what you think. We already said what we think, so you know what? Do whatever, all right? It's your fucking life. You didn't even have to listen to it to make it to this far, so...
Yeah, and you did, so, like, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't like it, I still appreciate you listening.
Yep, but make sure to leave us a subscribe so you can keep up with all the other kind of content that we'll be having coming out, because we talk about a whole range of different shit.
We don't even know, man.
Yeah,
we don't even know. We literally don't even know what we're going to talk about next.
Nope, we have no idea. It's going to be one of those that, don't worry, we got some other shit that we're going to be doing. But if you would like to give us a more in-depth, that you don't want to leave in the comments down below, but you want to give us a more in-depth of your thoughts on the Harry Potter world, you can leave us an email and we will get back with you. We will discuss with you. Just leave us an email and we'll get back with you at the Calling Couple POD. That's the Calling Couple Pod at gmail.com. And we would love to sit here and bullshit with you about the Harry Potter and the Wizarding world. And if you want to know more about some real style of magic, the real world shit that you could practice at home, I mean, you've already heard the Sage's side story. If you haven't, go back and listen to that one, because that one discusses it more. But you can also leave us an email for that too, to where you could talk to her about some of this stuff of
hell yeah, man.
where you can get started, and or if you've already been seasoned. So other than that, we are gonna close this one out. So final words. How would you leave this podcast?
I'm asking you, man.
Oh, well, I would just leave you with this, guys. All right. Yes.
Close enough. Good call.
No, I know what I said. Y'all just got to figure it out. And if you know what I said, leave a comment down below. All right, well.
He says he's going to go suck some dicks.
No. All right, so thanks for joining in, guys. And till next time.